Hello everybody, this is Lance. Today I'm doing a little DIY project. I'm making a MagSafe SSD that I can connect and disconnect as needed to my iPhone, seeing as they now have graced us with a USB-C port. So what I did was I went to Amazon, obviously, and I went and bought a whole lot of these. But what they are is basically just a magnet that you stick onto something else. Because what I wanted to do was stick a magnet onto an SSD, and that way just stick it onto the back of my case. If I wasn't using it, I could just take it off, unplug it and throw it into my backpack or whatever I'm carrying. I found a few that were absolutely useless, but I eventually narrowed it down to these two. This one, as you can see, I've actually taken off because it actually started leaving marks on my case. Not this particular case, I've got a few cases, but there was a slight indent and almost as if the rubber was coming off and leaving marks onto the case. So I thought, okay, well, I can't have that. And I eventually went for these ones. I'll have links in the description below for all of the stuff that I actually used. And although they sit a little further away from the, see if you can get that there. You see they sit a little further away from the drive itself. They are actually good enough that they stick really well. They've got a nice rubber coating on here. Again, I don't know if you can see there. And it's very soft and doesn't damage any of your cases, which is what I was looking for. After that, obviously, I needed a USB-C cable to connect to these things, and I eventually got these two. The one was advertised slightly slower than the other one. The other one was advertised as a USB 3.2 Gen 2. Which cost just over 17 euro, and the other one cost just over 16 euro. So they're not cheap, but I did want the flexibility that they offer by bending any way that I wanted them to. And these turned out to be the best. I also tried cables like this, which is supposed to be USB 4. Although they are very good cables and they did the speeds that they said they were going to do, it just wasn't really a decent cable for me because of the little, I thought this would be a help, but it's actually not, it's more a hindrance. When it connects into that, it then doesn't come off the side of the, I thought it would keep it out of the way of the phone so that you could hold it better, but it turns out that it's actually more of a problem. Let's see if I plug this in here, then it is. You've got this lovely big loop, and it's a very well-made cable, so of course it sticks out everywhere. These cables turned out to be pretty much exactly what the doctor ordered. So we stick it onto there. It fits with most cases because it's nice and narrow at the end. If you can see there. There we go. We now see that we are doing 4K 60, but we can turn on the log. And you can see at the bottom here, it actually says USB-C, and we are now doing ProRes log 4K 60, and we've got 64 minutes of record time. And then of course, the pleasure of this is you can just unplug it and plug it into your Mac or your iPad or wherever you're editing, and away you go. I do of course use it with, let me go and find it, my Blackmagic app. You can't fight with the fact that the Blackmagic app is free, and it does much more than the base app on the iPhone. So you can also go in here and you go into the settings, you go down to, I think it was media, and you say save clips to, and you can go files. Okay, we go to browse, and then we go down to Lumix, go open. There we go. So now it's selected the SSD, and again, we can now record at 4K 60 using the ProRes log format. Now the nice thing with this is I actually figured out a way to do it on an S24 Ultra as well. What I did with the Ultra is, unfortunately, the built-in app doesn't allow for you to change to SSD, not that I could find anyway. So I eventually found this little app called MC Pro 24 FPS. I know it's a weird name, but if you go into this and you then attach let's just use the same drive, attach that. By the way, I'm using a MagSafe compatible case for this because I've got MagSafe chargers all over the house, and it works fine for the wireless charging. So this, because it's a MagSafe compatible case, I can now just go into here, and if you scroll all the way down, you'll see it now shows the same SSD. Click on the SSD, write to SSD, blah blah blah, has to be fast, okay. You're not going to get much faster than that on a phone. And we are now recording at 8K 30 at 500 megabytes a second, so that is fairly impressive. So overall, this was a pretty good deal. For those that I'm pretty sure are asking, what is that silver drive? Basically, this is just a Samsung T7 that I stripped the rubber coating off because none of these things wanted to stick to the rubber coating for obvious reasons. I hope you enjoyed this, a little brief DIY project of mine. If you did like it, please do the whole like, subscribe thing. It does help the algorithm. And I will leave links in the description below for all of this type of thing. And you have a good day. Bye-bye.
Hypnotize me, baby.